So let's return to that meeting at the White House on the evening of December 18. That night, a group showed up at the White House, including Sidney Powell, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, and former Overstock.com CEO Patrick Byrne. After gaining access to the building from a junior White House staffer, the group made their way to the Oval Office. They were able to speak with the president by himself for some time until White House officials learned of the meeting. What ensued was a heated and profane clash between this group and President Trump's White House advisors, who traded personal insults, accusations of disloyalty to the president, and even challenges to physically fight. The meeting would last over 6 hours, beginning here in the Oval Office, moving around the West Wing, and many hours later, ending up in the president's private residence. The Select Committee has spoken with 6 of the participants, as well as staffers who could hear the screaming from outside the Oval Office. What took place next is best told in their own words, as you will see from this video.
Did you believe that it was going to work, that you were going to be able to get to see the president without an appointment?
I had no idea.
In fact, you did get to see the president without an appointment.
We did.
How much time did you have alone with the president? And I say alone, you had other people with you, but
right
from his aides before the crowd came running?
Probably no more than 10 or 15 minutes.
Was in that...
I bet Pat Cipollone set a new land speed record.
I got a call either from Molly or Hirschman that I need to get to the Oval Office.
So that was the first point that I had recognized, okay, there was nobody in there from the White House. Mark's gone. What's going on right now?
I opened the door and I walked in. I saw General Flynn. I saw Sidney Powell sitting there. I was not happy to see the people who were in the Oval Office.
Explain why.
Well, again, I don't think they were providing. Well, first of all, the Overstock person, I've never knew who this guy was. Actually, the first thing I did, I walked in, I looked at him, and I said, "Who are you?" And he told me. I don't think any of these people were providing the president with good advice, and so I didn't understand how they had gotten in.
In the short period of time that you had with the president, did he seem receptive to the presentation that you were making?
He was very interested in hearing particularly about the CISA finding and the terms of 13848 that apparently nobody else had bothered to inform him of.
That's an executive order about foreign interference. In
I was asking, like, you claim the Democrats were working with Hugo Chavez, Venezuelans, and whomever else. And at one point, General Flynn took out a diagram that supposedly showed IP addresses all over the world.
IP address.
And who was communicating with whom via the machines, and some comment about like Nest thermostats being hooked up to the internet.
So it's been reported that during this meeting, Ms. Powell talked about Dominion voting machines and made various election fraud claims that involve foreign countries such as Venezuela, Iran, and China. Is that accurate?
He took the fifth. So this was the triumvirate of grievance that met at the White House, and what they were there to do was to deliver the message that you need to call the military and seize the voting machines, because once we have them, we can declare victory. And we have drafted and brought with us an executive order. And we need for you to sign the executive order so that we can deploy the military or the Department of Justice, we'll see who'll go along with this, and go seize the voting machines. And that's what they were there fighting about. That's what was going on inside our White House. That's what Sidney Powell and Michael Flynn and Rudy Giuliani were pitching to Donald Trump to do. Get the military. Well, thank God, the Department of Justice, that was Bill Barr, okay? And Bill Barr, when he heard that he was being asked as the Attorney General of the United States to use the Department of Justice, okay, to use the marshals, to use law enforcement, to seize voting machines by executive order. His question was, and so was Cipollone's, and so was Hirschman's, and so was everybody else, what's the evidence? What is the probable cause? How do I go and see, and where am I seizing, and what am I seizing, and why am I seizing it? Give me probable cause. And of course, Sidney Powell said, that is insulting to the president. I can't believe you disrespect him with your disloyalty. That question right there reeks. He's the president. He doesn't need probable cause. Just do it. And that's where it got really, really ugly. They started calling each other the P word and the C word and the B word and screaming and yelling. And Patrick Byrne, he's the ex-CEO from Overstock.com, is like, why is Patrick Byrne in the freaking White House? You know why he was there? Because he was the one who was paying Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani. He was financing their legal intervention, let's call it. And that's why he felt he had the right to be in the Oval Office and in the residence and all those other places. Well, when we finally get through this phone call and we learn that Eric Hirschman thinks that she's nuts, and she's alleging that all the judges saw the IP address, all the judges saw the vote flipping, all the judges knew what, and they were all corrupt. And Hirschman says, they're all corrupt? All the judges? 61 judges heard your case. You presented zero evidence to them. You're presenting zero evidence to me. But you're now alleging that 61 judges, even the ones we appointed, were corrupt? And she said, yes.
We both challenged what she was saying. And she says, well, the judges are corrupt. And I was like, everyone? Every single case that you've done in the country you guys lost, every one of them is corrupt? Even the ones we appointed? And I'm being nice. I was much more harsh to her.
So one of the other things that's been reported that was said during this meeting was that President Trump told White House lawyers, Mr. Hirschman and Mr. Cipollone, that they weren't offering him any solutions, but Ms. Powell and others were. So why not try what Ms. Powell and others were proposing? Do you remember anything along those lines being said by President Trump?
I do. That sounds right.
I think that it got to the point where the screaming was completely out there. I mean, you get people walk in, it was late at night, it had been a long day, and what they were proposing, I thought was nuts.
And what they were proposing was that they seize the voting machines. And Rudy Giuliani, who had been previously recorded testifying in a deposition, he actually said that he told the Hirschman and Cipollone, he told, Mark Meadows, he told everybody at the White House that they were the P word, that they weren't tough enough.
I'm going to categorically describe it as, you guys are not tough enough. Or maybe I put it another way, you're a bunch of excuse the expression.
Nice. This is real banana republic stuff, you understand? This is the president of the United States wanting to use either the Department of Justice or the United States military. Neither of them would sign off on this. So that's why the executive order remained unexecuted upon, because nobody would do it. Nobody would do it. Nobody was going to seize voting machines and hand them over without probable cause to Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and Michael Flynn so that they could declare victory. But that's what they were trying to do. And, I've played you that clip of Michael Flynn because I thought it was so illustrative all these many months ago, before we knew what was going on in the White House, before we knew about this unhinged meeting that went on for 6 freaking hours with screaming and yelling and obscenities and profanities. Oh, by the way, where was Byrne? Where was the CEO of Overstock? He was in the residence eating Swedish meatballs. And one of the comments that one of the attendees said was, Burns was just gobbling. I never saw a man eat that many meatballs. Trump served him Swedish meatballs, and just because Trump was enjoying the fighting. He was enjoying having crazy people advocate some illegal thing to the people who he had also appointed, but who stood for the law. He loved it. He relished it. He loved it. He ordered food for Patrick Byrne, and Patrick Byrne gobbled all these, meatballs, and he was the one that was paying. So that's why Trump served him, because he was paying Sidney Powell. He was paying Rudy Giuliani. He was paying Michael Flynn. And Trump didn't have to come out of pocket at all for any of this bogus legal advice. But that's what happened on December 18th. And then at 1:42 in the morning, he decided, okay, they won't seize the machines. I'm going to ask the militias to come January 6th. It'll be wild. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to randyrhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.